The following conversation never actually happened. It is a work of creative fiction featuring AI-generated voices. Please enjoy it as a thought experiment, not as a factual historical account.
This is the Time Capsule Lounge.
You know what I love about this place? No matter how much fancy furniture they give us, the floor is still right here. Reliable. Honest.
Yes, because nothing says philosophical enlightenment quite like refusing a cushion.
Mock all you want, but when your cushion collapses, you'll fall on your ass. I'm already on the ground. Can't fall any further.
A metaphor for your entire philosophy. Can't be disappointed if you expect nothing.
Exactly. You're learning. Though I must admit, this wine is excellent. What is it?
Bordeaux, 1729 vintage. One of the benefits of civilization you claim to despise.
I don't despise wine. Wine is natural. Grapes ferment on their own. I despise people pretending they need expensive cups and fancy labels to enjoy fermented fruit. See? Just as good.
You're drinking from a bottle that someone made, stored in a lounge that someone built, sitting on a floor that someone laid. You're not quite as independent from civilization as you claim.
Fair point. But there's a difference between using what's available and needing it. If this lounge disappeared tomorrow, I'd be fine. Would you?
I'd be less comfortable, but I'd manage. I've been exiled enough times to know how to adapt. Though I'll admit, I adapt by finding a new chateau, not by living in a jar.
At least you're honest. Most philosophers would claim they could give it all up tomorrow. But they're lying to themselves.
Did you ever miss it? Comfort, I mean. Having a proper home.
Sometimes. Winter was unpleasant. And there were days when I watched families eating warm meals together, laughing. And I felt, not regret exactly, but awareness of the cost. Freedom isn't free. You pay for it in cold nights, and hunger and loneliness.
But you thought it was worth it.
Every frozen morning, every empty stomach, every person who called me mad. Yes, worth it. Because I was free, truly free. Not free within reasonable limits, or free as long as I follow these rules. Actually free.
I wonder if I've ever been truly free. Even when I was banned from France, exiled, I was still connected, still dependent on publishers, patrons, readers, still playing by some rules, even if I was breaking others.
Different kinds of freedom. You had freedom of thought, freedom to write what you believed. I had freedom from needs, freedom from obligations. Both valid, both difficult.
That's surprisingly diplomatic of you.
Don't get used to it. Give me another cup and I'll be back to insulting everyone.
Please do. Diplomatic Diogenes is unsettling. We're being prompted. Should we?
Do we have to? I hate formal introductions. Everyone already knows who we are, or they should.
Please, introduce yourselves for our listeners. They're very polite, these invisible people.
Fine. I'm Diogenes. I lived in a jar, told Alexander the Great to fuck off, and spent my life proving that everything you think you need, you don't. Happy?
That's the shortest philosophical summary I've ever heard.
Because philosophy doesn't need to be complicated. People want it complicated because then they can charge money to explain it. Your turn, fancy man.
Very well. I am Voltaire, born François-Marie Arouet, but I improved myself with a better name. I write books that get banned, plays that get me arrested, and letters that make kings furious. I've been imprisoned in the Bastille twice, exiled from France multiple times, and the Catholic Church would very much like me to stop existing.
Now that's an introduction. Criminal record and all.
I tried respectability once. Lasted about 6 months before I wrote something that got me beaten with canes in the street.
Beaten? For words?
By hired thugs. A nobleman I'd insulted. Nearly killed me, actually. Couldn't write for weeks.
But you kept writing.
Of course. What else would I do? Let them win? Let them silence truth with violence? Besides, spite is an excellent motivator.
Spite. Yes, that's honest. Not duty or moral obligation. Just pure personal spite. I love it.
Oh, at least half my career was powered by "I'll show them." Very petty, very human, very effective.
Spite is more honest than virtue. Virtue is what people claim after they've already decided to do something out of spite.
That's going in my next book. If they haven't burned all my books by now.
They probably have. You're very burnable.
How dare you? I'll have you know I'm extremely burnable. Banned in France, banned in Geneva, banned in the Netherlands.
I was exiled from Cynic for defacing currency.
Actual crimes. I only committed crimes against propriety.
My father was a banker. Counterfeiter, really. I helped. Got caught. Exiled. Best thing that ever happened to me. Forced me to question everything about value, money, property.
So your philosophy came from crime?
My philosophy came from realizing that money is a lie we all agree to believe. If you can just stop believing it, you're free.
That's actually quite profound.
Don't make it weird. I'm still basically just a naked guy who yelled at people. So this book of yours, Candide. Everyone's teacher gets repeatedly beaten, raped, and tortured, but keeps saying, this is the best of all possible worlds?
I was planning to discuss it later, but since you brought it up. Yes. Dr. Pangloss. Optimism taken to its logical, absurd extreme. No matter what horror befalls him, earthquakes, war, disease, enslavement, he insists it's all part of God's perfect plan, that everything happens for the best.
That's beautiful. That's exactly the kind of idiocy people believe. Oh, I lost my house in a fire, but at least I learned something about resilience. No, you lost your house. It's bad. Sometimes things are just bad.
Precisely. And people hated that I said it. The church condemned the book immediately. Philosophers accused me of pessimism, of destroying hope. But I wasn't destroying hope. I was destroying stupid, blind, cowardly optimism that refuses to see reality.
Yes. Reality is what it is. Pretending otherwise doesn't change anything. It just makes you look foolish.
Exactly. Though I must say, your method of making the same point was more direct. I heard you plucked a chicken and threw it at Plato.
Both of us naked. Me and the chicken. His definition of man was featherless biped. So I gave him a featherless biped. Technically correct.
The look on his face must have been priceless.
He sputtered. Actually sputtered. couldn't form words. Finally managed to say something about with broad flat nails to save his definition. Made him look like a fool in front of his own students. Philosophy through poultry.
We're similar, you and I. We both use absurdity to expose absurdity. You just use raw actions, while I use words.
True, though your words reached more people. My naked chicken only confused about 50 students. Your book confused all of Europe.
And got me banned in dozens of countries. The Vatican, France, Prussia, Geneva. Though to be fair, I've been banned from Geneva for multiple different books. They must have a special file just for me.
A whole file? That's an achievement. I only managed to get exiled from one city.
Only one? Amateur. Though I suppose actually committing crimes is more impressive than just writing about them.
It wasn't even a good crime. My father was counterfeiting coins. I helped. We got caught. But getting exiled taught me more about philosophy than any teacher ever could. Suddenly I had nothing. No home, no money, no status. And I discovered I didn't need any of it.
Exile as education. I understand that. Every time I was forced to leave somewhere, I learned something new about power, about truth, about how the world really works versus how people pretend it works.
To exile.
To exile. And to those of us who won't shut up about what we learned from it. Oh, how appropriate.
Behold, I am king. Everyone must respect me because I wear this expensive hat.
That's exactly what kingship is. An expensive hat and the threat of violence.
Heavy too. Uncomfortable. Why would anyone want to wear this?
Because other people think it matters. The crown itself is meaningless. It's the shared illusion that gives it power.
Stupid. You've spent time with kings, haven't you? What are they really like?
Insecure, mostly. Frederick the Great invited me to Prussia specifically so he could show off his intellectual court. He wanted to be known as Frederick the Wise, not just Frederick the Conqueror.
Did it work?
Not even a little. He wrote terrible poetry, I mean terrible. And he'd force everyone at court to listen to him recite it. Hours and hours of bad German verse about military glory.
That sounds like torture.
It was. So one night, after sitting through a particularly dreadful epic about his conquest of Silesia, he asks me, "What did you think?" And everyone's staring at me, waiting for me to praise him.
And you said...
Your Majesty, I am reminded that your military victories were more decisive than your metaphors.
Wait, you're saying his wars were better than his poems?
Which, given that his wars killed thousands, was not a compliment.
Beautiful. Insult disguised as analysis. He must have been furious.
Oh, completely. Banned me from court the next day. But he couldn't admit why without admitting his poetry was terrible, so we had to pretend it was about something else entirely.
That's clever. Different from my approach. I just told Alexander to move.
I want the full story. Everyone knows it, but I want your version.
All right. So I'm outside my pithos, my jar, in the marketplace in Corinth. It's morning. Sun is perfect. I'm just lying there enjoying it. Naked, naturally.
Naturally.
And suddenly there's shade. I open my eyes and there's Alexander. The Alexander. Fresh from conquering Persia, standing over me with his entire entourage. Generals, soldiers, hangers-on, all in polished armor looking magnificent. And he says, in his most imperial voice, "I am Alexander the Great. I have heard of your wisdom. Ask me for anything, and I shall grant it.
And you said?
Yes, you're blocking my sun. Move.
That's perfect. No philosophy, no grand statement, just you're in the way.
Complete silence from his entourage. They looked ready to execute me. But Alexander laughed, really laughed, and said, if I were not Alexander, I would wish to be Diogenes.
And you replied?
If I were not Diogenes, I would also wish to be Diogenes.
Oh, that's wonderful. You rejected even his imaginary compliment.
Because he was trying to establish a hierarchy. I'm so great that I'd choose to be you. But I was saying, your greatness is irrelevant to me. I'd always choose myself, regardless of who's offering alternatives.
You made yourself immune to his power by genuinely not wanting anything from him.
Exactly. You can't control someone who wants nothing. That's the secret they don't want you to know. Desire is the chain. Cut it, and you're free.
But you desired sunlight. That's why you told him to move.
You clever bastard. You're right. I did want something. Though sunlight is free and available to everyone. I wasn't asking for something he could give or withhold. I was asking him to stop taking something that was already mine.
That's an important distinction, very important. Did you ever see him again?
Several times. He kept coming back. I think I represented something he couldn't conquer. Genuine indifference. The second time, he brought fewer people, just him and a couple of guards. Asked me, why do men call you the dog?
And you said?
Because I fawn on those who give me anything. I yelp at those who refuse me, and I bite scoundrels.
You called him a scoundrel, to his face.
Well, he was. Killed thousands, destroyed cities, enslaved populations, all for glory and gold. That's scoundrel behavior. But again he laughed. I think he appreciated being treated like a regular person. Everyone else was terrified of him, told him what he wanted to hear. I just told him the truth.
Maybe that's why truly powerful people sometimes seek out their critics. They're desperate for honesty in a world of sycophants.
Possible. Though Frederick didn't seem to appreciate your honesty.
No, he did not. To be fair, I was perhaps more cruel than honest. There was this one evening, this was after he'd written yet another terrible poem. This one about his horse dying. Truly maudlin stuff, full of mixed metaphors and forced rhymes.
Go on.
So after the reading, he's clearly waiting for praise, and I say, Your Majesty, that poem moved me deeply. And he lights up, thinking I'm complimenting him. Then I add, I haven't been that moved since I last had indigestion.
You compared his poetry to indigestion?
The whole court went silent. Absolutely silent. You could have heard a pin drop. And Frederick's face, it went through about 5 different colors before settling on purple.
That's art. That's beautiful. Better than my plucked chicken.
I don't know. The chicken was pretty spectacular.
No, the chicken was funny. But your insult, it required them to think first, then be insulted. That's sophisticated. Mine was just obvious.
Different audiences require different approaches. Plato's students were trained in logic, so a logical demonstration worked. Frederick thought he was intellectual, so an intellectual insult hit harder.
Know your target. Good strategy. Did Frederick ever forgive you?
Not really. I mean, technically, yes. He invited me back years later, all very formal and diplomatic. But the warmth was gone. I'd wounded his pride too deeply. Which taught me something important. You can insult power, But if you want to keep influencing power, you have to be careful how you insult it.
And that's good? Caring about influencing power?
If you want to change things, yes. I couldn't just reject society like you did. I wanted to reform it. Make it less stupid, less cruel, less superstitious. And that meant staying close enough to power to whisper in its ear, even while writing books that undermined it.
Clever. Dangerous, but clever. I couldn't have done that. I'm too blunt, too honest, too likely to say exactly what I'm thinking without calculating consequences.
And that's valuable too. The world needs people who draw hard lines, who refuse to compromise. Otherwise, reformers like me just keep compromising until we've achieved nothing. You were the North Star, unchanging. I could bend and adapt because you existed, unbending.
Stop being nice. It's disturbing.
Fine. Your jar probably smelled terrible, and living in it made you weird.
Much better. And your chateau was probably full of uncomfortable furniture and pretentious dinner guests.
It absolutely was, and I hated most of them.
Then why invite them?
Because they were important. Because they had influence. Because if I wanted my ideas to spread, I needed them to carry those ideas back to Paris, to Berlin, to Vienna. It was exhausting, but necessary.
You sacrificed comfort of a different kind. Social comfort. Authentic connection.
Yes. I had acquaintances, allies, admirers. But friends? Real friends? Very few. Most people wanted something from me, or wanted to be seen with me, or wanted to argue with me for sport. Loneliness in a crowd is its own kind of hell.
I was alone in my jar. But it was honest loneliness. I chose it, owned it. Your loneliness was probably worse, surrounded by people, but still isolated.
Thank you for understanding that. Most people think I had it easy. Oh, Voltaire with his parties and his fame. They don't see the cost.
Every choice has a cost. The question is whether you're willing to pay it. Were you?
Most days, yes. Some days, I wondered. But overall, yes, I'd do it again.
Good. Regret is useless. Either you made the right choice or you didn't, but looking back doesn't change anything.
That's very stoic of you.
I'm not a stoic. Stoics pretend not to feel things. I feel everything. I just don't let feelings control my actions.
That's exactly what Stoics do.
Shut up.
Ah, my weapon of choice.
And mine. Though I threw it away when I realized I didn't need it.
You threw away your bowl. How did you eat?
Saw a child drinking water from his hands. Realized the bowl was an unnecessary luxury. If a child can do without it, so can I.
You stripped away everything, until only the essential remained.
Yes. And you? You added words and words and words, until the truth was hidden inside so many layers that no one could burn just one book and destroy your ideas.
That's actually quite insightful. I never thought of it that way, but yes. Redundancy as protection. If they ban Candide, I have 20 other works making similar points.
Different strategies for different times. In my era, writing was limited. Most people couldn't read, so I had to be the message. My life was my philosophy.
While in my era, printing presses meant ideas could spread faster than authorities could suppress them. So I could be more subtle.
Subtle? Is that what we're calling cowardice now?
Strategic survival. If I'd been as blatant as you, I'd have been executed at 20. As it was, I barely escaped execution multiple times by being clever about how I said things.
Fair enough. Dead philosophers convince no one.
Though I wonder sometimes if being too clever defeated the purpose. I wrote Candide to mock optimistic philosophy. But many readers thought it was just an adventure story. They laughed, but didn't think.
I plucked a chicken to mock Plato's definition of man, but half the students just thought I was crazy. The other half thought it was funny. Only a few understood the actual point.
So neither approach guarantees understanding.
No, but both approaches guarantee we tried, that we didn't stay silent. That counts for something.
I wrote this quill dry dozens of times. Hundreds of letters, dozens of books, countless pamphlets, all trying to make people question authority, think for themselves, use reason instead of superstition.
And did they?
Some did. Maybe. Probably. How can you measure the impact of ideas? I can count book sales, but I can't count changed minds.
Same with actions. I can count how many people saw me living in a jar, but not how many actually understood what I was demonstrating.
Do you think we failed?
No, because failure would be staying silent. Failure would be accepting the world as it is. We rejected that. We said, no, this is stupid, and I'm going to make everyone see it's stupid. The fact that most people stayed stupid anyway? That's not our failure. That's theirs.
A very convenient philosophy.
Isn't it? I came up with it specifically to avoid feeling bad about my life choices.
At least you're honest about your self-serving logic.
Always. Self-serving logic is the only kind worth having. Anyone who claims to be selfless is either lying or delusional.
You know, my enemies accused me of being in it for the money and fame, writing controversial books to sell copies.
Were they right?
Partially. I certainly enjoyed the money, and the fame, and the feeling of being important. But I also genuinely believe the things I wrote. It's possible to be right and benefit from being right.
Good answer. Better than false humility. Oh no, I suffer for my principles. I want nothing. Bullshit. Everyone wants something. Better to admit it.
What did you want?
To be left alone, mostly. To live without people telling me how to live. And maybe to make them uncomfortable. To be a splinter in the comfortable ass of society.
A splinter in the comfortable arse of society. That's your legacy.
Could be worse. My lamp. The famous lamp.
Did you really carry this through Athens in daylight, searching for an honest man?
Every day for weeks. Held it up to people's faces. Looked them over. Shook my head. Moved on. They thought I was insane.
You were insane, but also making a point.
The best kind of insanity. Purposeful madness. Did you ever find honest people? In all your letters and books and conversations with the powerful?
A few, very few. Most people lie to themselves first, then to others. They convince themselves their actions are noble when they're really just convenient.
Same everywhere, every era. People would rather lie than change.
Do you think we made any difference? Really? You with your lamp and barrel, me with my books and bands?
We made people think, even if just for a moment. Even if they went right back to their comfortable lies afterward, at least they had to notice their lies.
Is that enough?
It's all anyone can do. Plant seeds. Some grow, most don't. But you can't have a garden without scattering seeds everywhere.
You're much more optimistic than I expected.
I am not optimistic. Optimism is stupidity. I'm realistic, which means accepting that most people are idiots. But occasionally, an idiot has a good idea.
Fair distinction.
You know what's funny? I searched for one honest man. Just one. Out of thousands. And I never found him. But people still tell the story. Still remember the search.
The search itself became the point.
Yes, the gesture, the demonstration, showing that honesty is so rare it's worth searching for with a lamp in daylight.
I wrote Candide to show that blind optimism is stupid, but people remember the funny parts more than the philosophy.
Good. Funny lasts. Philosophy gets forgotten or misunderstood. But if they laugh and then maybe think, that's something.
We're both comedians, really, making jokes about serious things.
Best kind of comedian. The kind that makes you laugh and then feel uncomfortable about laughing.
To uncomfortable laughter.
And to making powerful people squirm.
Our time seems to be concluding.
About time. I was getting too comfortable. That's always dangerous.
Before we go, I want you to know this has been enlightening. Talking to someone who actually lived their philosophy instead of just writing about it.
And talking to someone who spread philosophy to thousands instead of just yelling at passers-by in a marketplace. Different tools, same fight.
To fighting the good fight.
To fighting the ridiculous fight, making everyone see how absurd they are.
Yes, that's better. The ridiculous fight. We should do this again sometime.
What? Meet in a magical room that shouldn't exist?
Why not? Stranger things have happened.
Fair point. Though next time, I'm bringing my jar.
And I'm bringing better wine.
The wine is fine. It's your cups that are pretentious.
Everything is pretentious to a man who drinks from his hands.
Exactly. No pretense, just honesty.
Absurdity.
Same thing.
Always was.
Thank you for listening to the Time Capsule Lounge. Back our passion project at patreon.com/timecapsulelounge and help us keep summoning the extraordinary for unexpected timeless talks.